Okay, this is going to be a quick, hopefully, tutorial of how I would set up RCK 2.0 in Unity URP. So I've got a fresh Unity URP project. I'm using Unity 6.4.3 current one as of today, and just have the empty template. So I would just click this remove readme assets because we don't need that, and then go to the package and manager and find your RPG Creation Kit 2, and I've already downloaded it. I'm assuming you know how to use the package manager in Unity, but then import that. It's going to say it's a full project, so yes, we want to import. And so that will take a moment. All right, so it comes up with these package dependencies, and I actually don't think you need any of them, at least in the modern Unity, and you probably don't even want some of them, like the Unity post-processing. That's actually for the built-in pipeline, which is the default thing that RCK comes with. So what I would do is just skip this. You don't need it. We can always install anything that's missing later. And then any package from the asset store I always look through and see, but in this case it's fine. Import all these things. We'll just click next. But here, these are the project settings, so they'll affect like the graphics and all that stuff. And it would be annoying to have to reset all that up for URP. So I would actually just uncheck that one, so we're not doing everything. The only thing I think we need is editor build settings, dynamic manager, and tag manager for the tags and layers. Editor build settings, because that will have all of the scenes set up for loading, and dynamics manager because that will set up the physics collision matrix if it has been configured by the project. So I think those are the only things that you should really need. You wouldn't want to overwrite the other stuff, so just do those and then import. Okay, so that took a couple of minutes to import everything. I just skipped past that, but now it's come up and wanting to import the TextMesh Pro stuff, so we'll just do that. That should be super fast. You don't need the extras, but you can install them if you want to. That's like documentation examples and other stuff for TextMesh Pro. It's the thing that comes with the Unity, not part of the RCK specifically. Okay, so now that we have that, then install the package, then everything is going to be pretty much pink. One of the first things you do with RCK probably is open up the cell view from the menu up here, and then I like to dock it down there. Need to make it a little bit bigger. Then you can look at the different world spaces. There are probably other tutorials about this, but just open up a cell. 0,1 is the start of the town, so you can see, yeah, it has these pink things. So the first thing you want to do in this version of Unity, go to Window, Rendering, Render Pipeline Converter, and it's the Material Shader Converter. Click that one. click scan, and that is also going to take a moment. Alright, that took a couple of minutes, but then finally it has come up with all of these that it found, which is just finding all the things that were set to the old built-in pipeline standard shader, and it can automatically convert them to the URP standard shader, which is called lit. So once it has this, then just click convert assets. The button on this, which is also not specifically an RCK thing, is actually kind of annoying because it doesn't scale correctly. This is a Unity bug as far as I know. But if you can figure out how to get that thing, there we go. And then proceed. Just saying it's going to overwrite all of these materials, basically. It's no big deal because they are all part of the kit, so you could always reinstall them if you wanted to. Proceed, and boom. Now it's recompiling the shaders, so alright, most of that pink stuff went away. Not all of it. Yeah, not all of it. So you can see that this guy here has pink underwear still, and that is because some of those used a custom shader that was not able to be automatically converted. So there is this thing in the RCK here where you can go to under the where did it go? Oh, it's down here. Render pipelines, shader replacer, find shader and replace. But I don't think that, I'm not sure. I think this is more for HDRP. Anyway, again, this is a video about what I would do, and I wouldn't use this one. So what I would do is click on this guy, go in here, go to the graphics, find the underwear, then go to materials, click on the underwear. And that the reason for doing it that way is just because then I find where the stuff is, which you can see it's mostly under this equipment. So there's not too many pieces of equipment, but I would just go through them manually. So I'm going to the material for the underwear, and you can see that it has this custom shader standard double side, which is pink. So what we want is universal render pipeline lit. And the name of the base map in that old shader is not matching with the base map of the new shader, which is probably one reason it was not able to automatically convert. But we know we have it right here, so we just drag the base color in, and boom, then this is pretty much set up. This double side allows it to render both sides. The lit shader has this already, so it's fine. Just say both. If you and that is just so if you look closely at the underwear here, see this is the back face of the thing. If I set it back to front, then it looks disappeared from this angle, rendering both faces. Then you can see it from both sides, so that's the reason for that. And then we just know that we're gonna have a similar problem with all these clothes that are right here. So if you go to this bandit set texture, we'll just correct that, do the same thing. Could probably make a script to automatically do all this for us, but it's not that many. So drag in the base map, switch it to both. Pretty much good to go there. For the bandit set, for clothes one, there's two different materials in there. switch this universal pipeline. Also notice that this diffuse map is the red one. So in this case, there's two different colors for the clothes. So you'll see why that matters. So that's the base color that's not coming over because it's called diffuse map in this one. Anyway, so we switch this one to universal render pipeline lit. And it looks like in this case it lost both of the things. So let's just drag this red one in here and drag the metallic map in here. And we'll set it to render both, because presumably all the clothes have similar things like that. Oh, and I forgot, this one has the alternate one, so just the same thing. Lit. This one is the bluish color, and give it its metallic map, and it's looking good. Set it to both. And we just do the same thing for these guys. Put the base color in. This one, there's more material or more textures, so you could actually take advantage of them. This one's got ambient occlusion in there, and it also has a height. So why not? We'll set them and then set that to both. This one, same thing. Lit. Base color. Metallic. Height. And occlusion. And set it to both. And basically you just go down the line and do the rest. I won't bore you with individual ones for all of that because the process is exactly the same. So that is the process for finding the remaining materials and converting those manually to the lit. It's pretty easy. There may be some other ones floating around in there on different models other than the clothes, but just when you find something that's pink, find it and switch it over like that. It should be pretty straightforward. So the next other thing that is important for URP is the way that the cameras and everything cameras and post-processing are handled. So click on the WL here in the cell view to take you to the world loader. That is where the player is and where the cameras are. So there are effectively three cameras in here. The first person one has two cameras. One is for the normal looking and the other is for the weapon views so that it doesn't get clipped. And so you need to set those up now as a camera stack. Also, it's got the camera on the post-processing layer. That is not really the way that you want to have it, actually even in built-in pipeline, but since post-processing is totally different than built-in in the scriptable pipelines, you'll have at the bottom here this missing script. These are the post-processing ones, so we can remove those. We don't need those. Go to here, let's just change this camera to the player layer. Just this one, just this object. I don't need to adjust the rest. Then enable post-processing with this checkbox here. And we can do anti-aliasing. Why not? That's up to you. And then we need to have the second camera be part of the stack, but we can't immediately choose it. And here in the volume mask, this is where we're looking for post-processing volume. So we don't want it to be on default. We want it to be on post-processing. We can take default off. And then the other camera here is this FP camera. This one, same thing. We remove these old post-processing scripts that are missing. We don't necessarily even need to have post-processing on this camera. Again, this is just for looking at the hands and stuff. I mean, I guess why not? But you might not want it to. Just depends on how you have it set up. And the other thing we need to do is change this render type here. So this camera is an overlay camera. That is what will allow it to show up in this camera stack thing. So here in the main first person camera now, when we click here on the plus, it shows FP camera. It only shows overlay cameras. So now that one's set up as an overlay for the first person. That one should be good to go. Oh, I forgot on the FP camera, also change it to the player layer, because we don't want it to be on the post-processing layer. And then under the TPS root, TPS camera hold is the third person camera. Same thing, let's put it on the player layer, just this object. This one, there's only one third person camera because it doesn't need to render the weapon separately. So we just leave that as a base. Enable post-processing and anti-aliasing. Change the volume mask to post-processing. And remove the old post-processing scripts. Then, so we can have post-processing again, then right click on the world loader scene and we will create a game object, volume, global volume. So this would be our global post-processing volume, and put that on the post-processing layer. And it's global, so the position doesn't really matter, but I always like to have things be at the origin anyway. So since its mode is global, it won't physically trigger. You can set up different post-processing volumes, so when the character actually walks in, you can totally change the post-processing profile. But just having a global one is good enough. There should already be some here. The default one, this is the default URP one, so that's probably fine. Just use that. Obviously, you can create your own post-processing profiles with different settings, and there are stuff on the store and whatever, but this will give us the basics. So put that in the global volume, and then there's that. So then save this, and I think that that is actually pretty much all that needs to be done. So click on the M to go to main menu, and that is where you can launch the game from. And we'll launch in. It's probably gonna, oh, because I didn't bore you with converting the iron armor. Let me do that real quick. I think it's maybe the guard set or the iron set. Now I will bore you redoing this real quick, just so it doesn't look ugly on the main menu there. And metallic, and we'll make it double-sided. Okay, so hopefully that was just the iron one and he's not wearing guard armor. No, it was probably guard armor. Anyway, alright, well, I won't bore you. So next one, create a guy. Can check, you know, everything, nothing's pink, so things are looking pretty good. Wrong armor, okay. But I did convert the mage armor, so we can pick that one and start. I mean, you can pick them and let them be pink, it's fine. There's the blue just while it's compiling shaders, and there we go. So the only other issue, and I can see there's something pink in the distance that I haven't converted yet. It's probably the bandit is wearing some piece of armor or something. Obviously it's very dark, so the lighting is different, and that's kind of a whole separate issue of going through and redoing this tutorial cave. Probably want to do like light mapping and change the lighting and everything, because otherwise it is pretty dark, but it works. So that is, I think, pretty much all you need to know in order to be able to, at least the hard parts, in order to be able to convert. Like I said, there'll be scattered materials that are pink, and you just come in here and fix them. And when you know that you want it to be on lit is your old built-in standard shader, then it's pretty straightforward and you can easily convert things. I think the hardest part is knowing about all that camera stuff in the world loader and knowing where the converter is for the mass conversion. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that helps, and thanks for watching.